Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for a match of the LA Sevens that, as you can see, was initially delayed. It was supposed to be taking place just over 3 hours ago due to heavy rain and lightning in LA. They did have to make sure that they rescheduled all the games to still fit them all in. But looking at this one, Samoa, their starting lineup, they will be as follows: Va'a, Apelo Maleko, Motu Opitai, Taununa Olivaia, Scanlon, Tuna Tuitama, Fa'afoi Falaniko, and also Letufia, our last man in the starting lineup for the Samoans. Then for New Zealand, it is Lewis Ormond, Amanaki Nicole, also new man in the side, Fehi. Now, this name's going to be tricky, but I believe it is Fania Nanorfo, also Naroi Mikavi Black, Akulia Rokalisoa, Roderick Solo, and the youngster Peyton Spencer. Now, the rain is still heavily falling in LA, similar to what we saw for these two sides playing off in the Cape Town gold medal final. And in that matchup, it was actually Samoa who were able to walk away with that victory. 150th match for Paulo Duarte in charge of this one, the Portuguese referee. How's Georgie? He's doing very well. He's actually around just before this live stream did get started at 1 a.m. And LA says Brandon, and also Hamish type. That says Tracy. Don't know what that is. No, Tracy. And also, hello, lad, says Goran. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Levi excited for this game. And I should mention that Samoa, they have really been, I guess, sharing around their tries. There's only one man who has been able to score 2 tries so far for Samoa in this Sevens competition, and that is Tuna Tuitama. And also, we do Fiji versus Australia live. Says Nasal, at this stage, we didn't have it scheduled just because I wasn't sure where the cutoff was going to be for the day. But I don't believe we'll get to do that match, but we will be doing Fiji's games from the quarterfinals onwards tomorrow. Nicely picked up from Scanlon to start this matchup, and already New Zealand find themselves on the back foot. Beautiful inside ball. Now Olivaia now receives it on the 22, trying to wrestle out of the tackle of Finia Nanorfo. Going to be a little knock on from Samoa there, though. Now, pretty quick start to this game, it's fair to say. I'm doing well, thanks. And as Tamanui. And also, no wonder there's adverse weather in LA delaying the game, says Semi Souza. Yeah, they've probably gotten quite lucky to be able to actually get these games in, because with the heavy amount of rain that's falling, of course, it's not the rain that they're worried about. It is when you do end up seeing a little bit of lightning around the ground. I believe it was Canada versus Ireland that was taking place at the time when they did have to call it quits for a little bit. Now, New Zealand, just outside of their own 22, they managed to retain their scrum. Peyton Spencer passes across. Now it is going to be another youngster, Roderick Solo, forced toward the touchline. Already seen some interesting celebrations from players when they have been able to get it on. And also, just type it up. It's a person, says Tamanui. I mean, there is a Sevens game of rugby going on at the moment, which we probably should commentate rather than Googling random people. Now it is going to be a big run from the new man, Fania Nanorfo. Now, back across, Akulia Rokalisoa. Nice tackle put in. I believe it was Peyton Spencer who ended up putting it down after Fa'afoi Falaniko got it in the midfield. And also we've got there Gotoa New Zealand, says Makavonapola. Where's Blues Nate? He's probably sleeping. He was awake a majority of the night doing the moderating for us on the last live streams. 5 minutes left. That ball still at the back of the Samoan breakdown. Nice step from Falaniko. Goes round one. Peyton Spencer just manages to take him down. And I should mention that both of these sides actually already through to the quarterfinal. It's just ranking who's going to be finishing first and who's going to be finishing second in their group. But both sides sitting 2 wins from 2. Tuna Tuitama puts the boot in behind. Sits up now nicely for the new man once again. Fania Nanorfo. And a little knock on the ground, New Zealand. Oh. The flag was up. New Zealand conceding the ball, and Samoa almost able to get a miracle offload back into the field of play, but the foot was just out a little bit. Also, is Marco Vanapola playing? Says Corin. He was playing for England yesterday. And also, he's going me earlier YouTube channel. It was very good last night, says Brandon. I thought he played for England. Says Corin. And also, we've got there. Where's George? So he has gone home. He will be joining me, though, for the Scotland versus France live stream at 4 a.m. in the morning. That is our next live stream on the channel. And I should mention I'll probably be getting up at about 2 a.m. so that I can then schedule all of these Sevens live streams, which involves quarterfinals, semifinals, etc. Now, back across to the left-hand side 5 meters out from the line here. New Zealand trying to turn it over in the breakdown, but it was accidental offside. Samoa get themselves the penalty again. Now only 5 meters out from the line. I believe they'll go for the quick tapping option here, unless they consider the scrum, just like the cricket when it gets delayed. There's Rugby 02. And he played netball, says Peter Stowers, and also subs up chicken butts, says Amelia. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well again. Close to the line now for Samoa. They're just going to be short of the line. Held up. Oh, I said he was just over the try line. So now that will become a 5-meter scrum for Samoa. That is something that I do enjoy about the Sevens compared to Union for what happens when you get held up 5 meters out. You now continue with that 5-meter scrum instead of Union where you go a goal line dropout and lose a lot of meters in the process. Hi, Amelia. There's a Brandon there as well. 3 minutes left in the first half. Currently a stalemate between these two sides. Really little fear. Puts the ball in now for the Samoans. Nice hook back. Now passed across to Scanlon. He's in. And Samoa strike first in this matchup. And it looks like he's a bit slow getting back to his feet there, Paul Scanlon. I think he might have taken quite a heavy knock as he was going down. But the Samoans, nice pass off to Paul Scanlon. That will be his second try of the LA Sevens. And I should also mention he is their kicking option, and he has been kicking very well throughout the first few matches. Could help them go very far in the comp, definitely because they've got Milani Matavao as the replacement kicker. That was a good try, says Rugby 02. Yeah, just a flat run from the Samoans. I can still see a few Samoan supporters with their Samoan flags at the ground, which I mean, it's very damp. So the support and the commitment from those fans, that's helping Samoa try and get over the line here. Deep breaths being taken by Fa'afoi Whananeko. So far, New Zealand not really having an attacking opportunity throughout the first 5 minutes of this half. And let's go Scanlon. Auckland Blues look wicked, or looking wicked, says Choke. Work as well. That one's going to be going back onto the side of Samoa. Not a lot of roll on the surface due to the amount of moisture that has been soaked in. It's been called as a maul, and New Zealand now get themselves a scrum. Moto Opitai very unlucky, not quite get that knee down. And Siki try by De Uso. Says Mako Vonapol and tries to try, says Kyron. There as well. 90 seconds left. Currently the live standings as it sits would have Samoa sitting on 9 points, New Zealand on 7. But certainly could end up going either way. Lots of wetness, true. And hopefully for the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals tomorrow, it's a little bit drier just because, or else I think it will heavily impact the game and probably not in a good way. We want to see that free-flowing rugby that both of these sides actually prefer to play. So I think both of them want it to dry out. They should hopefully have a decent drainage system at the stadium. It is actually the LA Galaxy's home stadium in the football, MLS. Now, tackle. Rokalisoa thinks to the short side. Asking for the penalty for a possible tackle on the ground with a foot. I think that was Peyton Spencer. Gets back up for New Zealand. They need to score in this half, and they've got themselves another penalty. Now, Lewis Orman goes up the middle of the field. Keeping this one alive. And I should mention New Zealand overall in their starting lineup. Like, you've got Rokalisoa, Amanaki Nicole, and then probably Roderick Solo. Other than that, a lot of these guys did not start in Sydney. So I'm wondering whether or not, because it is a game that they're already through to the quarterfinals, he's going with an experimental side. Same can be said a little bit for the Samoans. They've left a few of the big players out of the starting lineup. Speaking of big players, we haven't seen Va'a Pilomaliko yet. Another tackle made. Falaniko, that's going to be a knock-on on the ground, and that will be half-time. 7-0 at the moment in favour of the Samoans. A welcome break. Tuning into YouTube commentary, then watching the Sevens. A nice way to skip the games with the TV off to time the ones I actually want to watch, says Sammy Souza. And yeah, it's a bit of a weird one because of all of the changes in times, because this was actually after the last game of Sevens was going to be taking place. So we got up at about 12, I believe it was, so that I could get all ready for the live stream at 1:30. Then I saw that it was delayed, so then I decided why not film a preview. Then it got delayed again, and now we're here. So luckily the game is going to be taking place today. And ref can't play. That's probably why he's a ref, no, says Thomas. That is a good point. 150 matches as a referee, which is a majority more than a lot of these players may end up having throughout their whole careers and bring the Sevens to Australia, says Peter Stowers. They actually had the last leg in Sydney, believe it or not, Peter. It was only about 4 weeks ago that they had already played in Australia, and then the week before New Zealand for the last time. It's raining, not tries, says Elon. And also, I can still see the rain when the players fall. It will splash, says Rugby 02. Did you see Jordan Conroy? Can't speak anymore. Jordan Conroy's try celebration when he slid over the line and then just became a torpedo and then just slid for about a good 5 meters without stopping. It was delayed a lot and lots of rain. Here's a Rugby 02 and thunder and lightning. Yeah, I think it was that lightning that they were certainly taking player safety into precaution. Thank you, Really, been a while. Jokes. Hope you're going for Samoa, says Chrissy. So, my reverse psychology at the moment might be working because in my preview, I said New Zealand by 12. But anytime I say a side's going to win, they lose. So I might have just jinxed the Kiwis by saying that. I can see what water polo would look like played on land, says Sammy Sosa. And more rainstorm tomorrow. Good weather in Adelaide, South Australia, says Peter Stowers. And he saw the knock on by the Samoan. Says Tracy. Oh, sorry, says Tamanui. Now, Fa'afoi Falaniko about to kick off the second half for the Samoans. 7 minutes splits them from a perfect group stage of 3 from 3 wins. The Kiwis, if they can manage to fire back, I'm not actually too sure who they are facing in the quarters at this stage, these two sides. In fact, while we are at it, we'll go like this and we'll go to the match center. We will find out which grouping they will be up against. So Pool A normally face Pool D, which at this stage might be probably Argentina and Great Britain. They might be the two sides making their way through. Another drop ball in this match early, though, in the second half. So you're a bad doomsday sayer on your predictions. Exactly right. Pretty much any team that I say will win in the prediction, they don't. So it's almost got to the point how sometimes I'll say the team that I don't think is going to win or the team that I don't think is going to win because I know that then they might end up winning. Drop goals are not easy when the pitch is upon. True. The ball's probably not going to bounce at all for the drop kick. That's going to be another knock on from New Zealand. So the Samoans get the ball back. Now looking to use the left-hand side. Oh, it's Noah Levi who's now put that one down. And then Finia, then Nofo had the ball. That will be a name that slowly rolls off the tongue just a little bit more. Now, nice step again. And also, ball does not bounce up so well, says Thomas. And also, we get hey, Hamish, says Connor. Back across. Am I from New Zealand? I am indeed. From the South Island of New Zealand. And at the moment, it's sunny, which is the difference between us and LA. It's looking very wet. Now, nice work from the Samoan defense to be able to keep him in the field of play. No Levi now goes off to Letufea. Motu Opitai. Numbers on the outside for Samoa if they do decide to use it, but it's a risky offload. The ball just ends up sitting there on the turf. Another offload from Samoa. Starting to get a little bit desperate to make those extra meters, and it's starting to cost them possession, which is something they cannot afford. Now New Zealand with it. Narohi McGarvey Black. Wide cutout pass to Armanaki Nicole. Wrestled down there in the challenge. Throws it to Roderick Solo, who puts it down. And now Samoa at the scrum again. Guys and girls, who are your favourite Sevens player? There's Connor. Ooh, that's tough. Favourite player. There's quite a few good players around. I really enjoyed watching. Of course, I'm going to struggle to remember his name now just because of how many players. It was the Fijian. What was his name? Bukayaro. I quite enjoyed Bukayaro for a while. And which one do you support, Landers or Satyrs? I'm very lucky because I'm right in the middle, so I'm actually pretty impartial for the two sides, which is normally something that annoys people because we're right on that border. Good afternoon, buddy, says Lennox. And also, we have got there Sarivi. Sarivi also creating Joe Weber. Says Tamanui. If I become an All Black, I will shout out your name if you like, says Tamanui. Out of context, they might be a bit confused. Tamanui, perhaps, in that case. Samoa versus Springboks is in Samoa next. There's Brandon. Now Letufea offloaded back. Nice little loop around play. Malani Matavao with the ball in hand. And it is absolutely awesome to see him back from the injury that kept him out of the Seventh Circuit for around that 6 months or so while he was recovering now. Valvas Alfasua. Tackle, big push on Regan Weir. In fact, it was Dylan Collier, or Brady Rush, sorry. Now, knocked over Apilo Maliko somehow has been able to keep that ball almost in his hands, but now on the breakdown, New Zealand have been able to get the turnover. Mine and DJ Forbes have a game for Mark Talia. And also, I would say shout out to Hamish, hashtag Q lads, and the best referee, or my best player is the referee. Cheers, Peter Stowers. Now the Wate, in charge of this game for his 150th match. I have to say, you don't normally get to 150 matches without being a decent enough referee in the Seventh Circuit. Normally, if you're not the best, they will get rid of you a lot earlier than 150. Now Rohi McGarvey Black takes it quickly. New Zealand looking to fire back and get themselves another possible try in the Seventh Circuit. They've already got themselves many up against the USA in their earlier game. Chile, they were able to score a few against them as well. Now New Zealand to the short side. Roderick Solo has to duck under the challenge. Out now, the quick step in from Rokali Soa. Looking at wide, Lewis Ormond. He has got Amanaki Nicole with him, but instead pierces off to the left-hand side. Now Roy McGarvey Black finds another offload, another knock-on from New Zealand. And the break, it's going to be via Apilo Maleko looking for the corner. It looks like New Zealand will be able to catch him. Geez, that was a huge bump off, but Brady Rush has done enough to keep the Kiwis in the game just for now. But the Samoans, once again, 10 metres out from the line, going to the left. Motu Opitai, Milani Matavao now in the midfield. There is space for days. Missed tackle. Fafoi Valaneko will get himself another try. And that should almost secure the deal for the Samoans. And Jonah Lomu says, Damanui, have you ever met a rugby player? And if you have, who was it? I've met Norm Maxwell, if you know who that is. He's a slightly older rugby player, so some of the younger viewers may not know exactly who he is. He's ex-All Black and Crusaders lock. Come on, Samoa, says Chrissy. Apilo Maleko is my current favourite Sevens players. My Samoa is my favourite current Fijian Sevens player. He's very good, my Samoa, isn't he? And Serevi and Alafoti Fa'a Saliva are my all-time. Says Thomas, but that kick is successful. So now the score, 14 points to 0 in favour of the Samoans. And Tyler Nathan Wong's my favourite Sevens player. And I met Jonah Lomu and Rico Ioane. Now, 90 seconds left. It looks like Samoa are going to be making a sub. They've just managed this game extremely well compared to what we're seeing from New Zealand. New Zealand have had a lot of handling errors and have hardly had an attacking chance in this matchup, something that is not said too often at all for the Kiwis. But at the moment, this one seems to be hitting a little bit more in the same way that Cape Town was, which was in those very wet conditions. The Samoans were able to make the most of it. That kick has gone out, though, from Samoa, unfortunately. So now New Zealand have got one last chance. Tavia's haircut looks fresh. He doesn't look like a hedge anymore, says Elon. And who do they play in the quarterfinals, says Hanoi. I'll let you know as soon as the match is over, but I know that it's either Argentina or Great Britain, I believe. Looks like New Zealand will play Great Britain. Samoa will end up with Argentina. That's probably actually the harder game out of the two, isn't it? Now passed across again here. Dylan Collier, big bump off. Finds the offload up to Leroy Carter. It's getting shut down by Owen Nue. That has used up more time on the clock. New Zealand still 35 seconds left. If it ends in a draw, I believe New Zealand would actually go through on the points differential. It's a nice pass out on the wing to Brady Rush. He'll cut back inwards, or does he? He has the wide cut-out pass. Brilliant work from the Kiwis to score a little bit closer to the post. And now, with 15 seconds left, they will need to have another quick 10-second try. Did Samoa score again? They did indeed. And I would rather face GB as Samoa, says Thomas Neal, and Argentina, a much trickier team. Yeah, I think, to be fair, New Zealand might be happy with Great Britain. And the next game, Crusaders got absolutely pumped, says Elon, and yeah, go the Chiefs, says Thomas. It's a good inside ball to be able to get that try so that it was a lot more of a chance. It's knocked on by New Zealand, kicked out by the Samoans, and they will win this contest. 14 points to 7. They go through to the next stage of the competition, undefeated here, Samoa, and they will look to continue building that momentum. So it is confirmed that second in Pool A will be facing Great Britain. That will be New Zealand. And first in Pool A does have to go on to face Argentina. So that will be the game at 7:23 a.m. tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen. The matchup between Samoa and Argentina. And then New Zealand have got their game up against Great Britain. That is at 8:07 a.m. So a little bit later. Reverse psychology, man, worked again, I guess. And I was like, oh, dear, says Elon. And Archie's a good, says Hanoi. So, yeah, that will certainly be a tough game. But Great Britain at the moment, they're playing some pretty good rugby sevens. So who knows how those two quarterfinals could go. At the moment, on the other side of the draw, for anyone wondering, the way it is sitting for the tables, we do see Fiji at the top of the bunch. So they are pretty much confirmed as one of the sides going through to the next stage, definitely with their points differential of plus 64. So they are through. They will be facing off against either Ireland or South Africa or Uruguay, depending on how that last match for the South Africans go. And they are actually playing Ireland in their final game. So if South Africa lose that match and Uruguay beat Canada, it will actually be South Africa completely missing out on the LA quarterfinals. And thank you, Kiwi Lad says, Chrissy, no worries at all. And thank you, Samoa, for the beautiful game today. There's Akanisi. Yeah, it seems to be a little bit of a, I guess you could say, the Samoans in the very, very wet conditions against New Zealand, they become New Zealand's bogey team. That is twice in a row when the sides have played almost in a flood that the Samoans have walked away with a win by about that 7-point margin. And Vodapolo brothers play different positions, says Thomas Neal. They do indeed. Number 8 and also the number 1. Really thought it would be a draw. And what time is the next Samoan game, says Chris? So the next game for the Samoans will be taking place at 7:23 a.m. New Zealand time tomorrow morning. So we've got about 14 and a bit hours. Yeah, 7:20 a.m. Samoa versus Argentina. Another quarterfinal that has been confirmed is Fiji, or sorry, not Fiji, Great Britain taking on New Zealand. That is the other one. And more than likely, Fiji will be finishing at the top of their group. So they'll either have 7:45 or 8:29. Not the Sevens player, no, says Thomas Neal. And what clubs do you guys play for? Says Connor. I do not play for a club, sadly, but some pretty good players in the grassroots system at the moment. I mean, you just got to look at someone like a Samoa or a Fiji. They can throw these new names in. Tuna Tuitama, perfect example. No one had heard of the guy, really, unless you were really following Samoan Sevens and whatnot. And we did just see him break onto the scene, and now he's a staple of their Samoan team. The Usos are at the lights, are washing windows in New Zealand. Says Marco, and all the team are Samoan base except for one from Australia, says Thomas Neal. And I like the look of Lina. He's a classy kid, says Elon. So I should mention the next live stream that we have got, ladies and gentlemen, will be coming at the time of 4 a.m. New Zealand time. What's your favorite pack and save store, Hamish? There's only really one nearby us that's up in Timaru, but I haven't actually been to it in a long time. I think Kiwi Lad says, Chris, no worries at all. Yeah, like I mentioned, Samoa playing at 7:23 a.m. We're also going to be covering the matchup between Scotland and France. That will be taking place at 4 a.m. And then we will have a few more of the quarterfinals coming to you guys live after that as well. There are still a few more games taking place later on today. The matchup between Kenya and Japan is just around the corner, followed by there is a matchup between Fiji and Australia. That is at 5:34, although we aren't covering that one on the Kiwi Lads channel, unfortunately. But yeah, at this stage, we'll rest the voice. Be ready to go for tomorrow morning. And also what happened to New Zealand, you said going to win, says Gatai. Reverse psychology, my friend. It has worked every single time that the Samoans have played when I've done a preview of their game. If you look through at about the past 7, maybe about 7 out of the last 9, Samoa, when I've said that they're going to lose, have won. And I've mentioned that on every single preview video that I do. So when I pick the team against Samoa, it's not so much because I think that the other team's going to win. It's because I know if I pick the other team, the Samoans are going to get through, which is absolutely awesome for them. They're through to the quarterfinals now, where they will be taking on the Argentinians. And we will be Fiji's next game, says Lonsdale. Fiji have got a game in about 30 minutes' time, which is going to be Fiji versus Australia as a part of Pool C. And Tonga is not on the World Series, says Thomas, and Henderson Peck and Save is the worst, says Schlanger. Reverse psychology, yes, sir, says Chrissy. And that Samoan man is very happy at the moment for his side, that is for sure. And I think the Samoans are almost the only fan base who have stuck around at the ground, which is great to see. Maybe a couple Fijians still there as well. Yeah, nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Anyone who didn't know the score, 14 points to 7, the Samoans able to walk away with the victory. Try scored by Paul Scanlon and also Fa'afoi Falaniko, and then also Leroy Carter getting the last minute try for New Zealand, but it wasn't enough. 7-point win for the Samoans, and they will make their way through to the next stage of the competition alongside New Zealand, both through to the quarterfinals. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all for the next one.